Hey y'all, what is going on? Listen, Linda. So this is, okay, this young, beautiful lady right here, right? Number one, she's very smart. Secondly, very beautiful. Thirdly, a beautiful wife. Fourthly, just multi-talented. But I'm going to let her introduce you all to the tribe, to the ace. My girl, Unique. But go ahead, Unique. Go, girl.
Thank you.
Hi, Unique.
Hi.
How you doing? Go ahead, mama.
My name is Unique Bloom. Lucky me, I married into a great name.
Hello.
I'm happy to be here. Super excited to talk to you all today. You can follow me on Dare to Bloom Unique, my blog site. And let's get into it.
What they do. This your boy DP.
This your girl T.
And we're the Geminis Gemz, representing for the Geminis across the world, giving our own Miami perspective.
For sure. So
you can follow us on all podcast platforms at Geminis-Gems.
Also follow us on Instagram, Geminis_Gems, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Geminis Gems.
Hey, make sure you like, follow, you comment, and you subscribe. Yes. And make sure when you type it in, it's Geminis with the S, Gems with a Z. And what we do, T?
Drop them gems. So for us to actually start, I'll tell everyone why we're actually here. Okay. So today's topic is mainly about the benefit in improvement. And with that being said, meaning pertaining to mental health is self-awareness. And Unique, can you tell the viewers where this topic came from and why this is important to you?
So personally, I feel that for a long time, and I'm 26 years old, I never really had a good understanding about mental health and self-awareness, self-care. I mean, you talk about it a lot with, your friends and in school, but it's like, are you really practicing it? Are you really engaging in self-care or being mindful of your mental health? And I think I didn't realize that I wasn't until something drastic happened to me. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to handle this, or I'm in depression, and you start to do things that you don't normally do. And that's why it's so important to be aware of it.
All right. So I love that. Let me drop some gems for you right there, girl.
Thank you.
Love that. So what I took from your statement, and again, we're not professionals.
Right.
Let me state that. Let me do a disclosure, okay?
Right.
Listen, I am not licensed,
right.
no social
personal
worker.
Opinions.
Listen, this is our personal opinions and basically our life experiences that while we here, right? And so, even for myself, I had to go. Well, we're human, right? So, as a Black woman, and depression hits in, society, social media, all of this plays a factor of the mental state because it's a lot of comparisons. It's a lot of, I should have been here by this age. And we kind of beat ourselves up, which is unnecessary.
Right.
And I had to also go through my own depression to where I dug myself in. And I was like, T, now you started doing substances that you have no business doing. Now, a passing of a loved one, just life start happening to where your mental state and it's the thoughts in your head kind of basically affects you. And for me, I'm in a place now walking in 2023 to where how can I do things the right way? And with that being said, with my current job that I'm in my field that I am now, we do a lot of mind matters practices. Yeah. We do a lot of yoga. We do a lot of meditation. We do a lot of mental health nature to where, guess what? This stuff really helps
Right.
versus the substances that, the liquor,
Right.
whatever else is out there. And it's just, how can we motivate, especially other Black women like us and all other people, and other viewers, of course, and everyone, but how can we help others to know that, to understand that this is real?
Right. Because, like, when you think about it, a lot of people don't know how deep they are in depression until they start thinking of things like suicide and, like you said, substance abuse that can cause them to do things that they should not be doing. But really, I think, like you said, the mindfulness, that's number one, being mindful of how you feel and being able to express that. And that doesn't mean you have to express that to people you know. Like, for me, I go to therapy. That was my first thing that I knew, like, okay, I need to talk to somebody, not people who are going to judge me, not people who are going to, like, say, well, you did this and you did that. So I think being first mindful, and then for your own comfortableness to understand how you want to address that.
So when it comes to therapy, right? Because Miss T, I listen. I got a therapist, okay?
Yes.
Listen, and was I against it at first? I was, years ago in my 20s, because I'm thinking, I don't need help.
Yeah.
I'm good. Give me maybe a vodka or, a Jameson, my whiskey. I'm great.
Right.
And then till reality kind of hits, like, oh, shoot, my dad is no longer here.
Right.
Now, whatever comes with that. And I said, you know what? So right before COVID, years before COVID, I said, I need a therapist. But a lot of people feel that they don't. And I agree with you that you go to someone who doesn't know you, but you can actually be who you are to get to the root of the issue when it comes to therapy. Because in my head, I'm walking through the door like I'm about to come, I'm about to slam. This is the reason why I'm here. I got problems. And when I sit in that chair and I walk out the door, I'd be like, wait, I did not even talk about the one main reason why I thought I was walking into
the root cause.
In the root. And guess what? He said, no, we're going to get to the root. Yeah. Let's pause, Miss T. No. That's not why we here. And when you walk out that door, you be like, oh, okay. But we have to do the work. What else
First, acknowledging it. Having a conversation. And a lot of times, I think in the Black culture, we stereotype what a therapist is for us. Oh, we're crazy. I'm not crazy. I don't need no therapist. It's not about being crazy. We all go through things, and sometimes we just need to work through that. And a lot of times, I don't necessarily think of it as, oh, I have a problem. This is an experience I had, and I need to learn how to work through it. So if this ever comes up again, or if I'm faced with another tragedy, that I know how to, center myself to work through this. So I think a lot of people miss that for therapy.
And you said a perfect word that we teach our students, our youth, is center. Because it's either we're not center or we extreme.
Right.
And extreme is Amy processing in our minds that she's reacting always.
Yep.
And Amy, she cool, but we need her when we need her, but not for every situation.
Right.
And we need to kind of program, but we also need to educate ourselves on how the body process, how the mind works, because what we listen to, what we eat, what we watch, our atmosphere, our surroundings, whatever our everyday lifestyle is, it's an impact on our thoughts. And our thoughts can be like, girl, you should have been already established X, Y, and Z. You should have been whatever the standards you putting that on yourself, or maybe your peers, your loved ones, or whoever. But I feel that once we're able to just be appreciative where we already are in life, if you have a plan, if you just believe in God, I'm a spiritual person. Listen, I'm a Christian. God first. I'm trying to get closer with him. But again, this is all in a mental state to where why and how we can improve. And it's just, I encourage people, especially our culture, that you're not alone, that you have the resources. This is 2022, not walking in 2023. Yep. You're not alone. And I had a question for you regarding Sally. Rest in peace to DJ Twitch. Yeah. Give me your feedback on when you found out about his suicide. What were your thoughts going through your mind?
I mean, instantly I was like, you never know. Because you see these people as like people who are joyful, that bring light to other people, are always smiling, and then you don't know what they are going through internally. Like, they can put on this face or this mask that everything is okay, and deep down inside they are hurting so bad. Mm-hmm. And who would know that maybe all he wanted was someone to say, how are you, or what's going on, something he could have probably talked through, or not saying that would have been the solution, but you never know what someone's going through. Just because they seem happy or they got it all together, that doesn't mean that. And it's sad, but I hope that people see a lesson or, some type of light, that it's important to take care of your mental health and to seek help from a therapist or whoever that might be for you. It doesn't have to be a professional therapist. It can be your best friend, but you want to make sure it's someone who can actually feed you and help you think through processes and how you make decisions.
Your trusted adult.
Right.
Everyone needs that TA, and we also tell our kids that, and we call that a trusted adult, because we all needs one. Right. And of course, 18 or older, 21 plus, like, you have to experience life, but gravitate and connect with someone, because again, we just never know what anyone is going through. And with the mental state and improvement, it's not for everyone. And I get upset if I talk to family, or it could be others who just don't agree with the conversation that we're having, because it gets shut down instantly. It's nothing fun. It's nothing entertaining. It's nothing negative.
Right.
The topic is sensitive, but it's nothing negative to drag on of gossiping. You understand? But it's just like, when enough is going to be enough to where this topic is serious. And what are we doing now to live another 50 years?
Right.
Because I'm learning, whatever I need to do right now in my age, in my mid-30s, I'm practicing, because I want to see 80s. You have a beautiful mom who's in her early 80s. And when I got to know her, I was like, what are you doing? How? And I love to see her and women and people like her, because it's not a lot of them walking and breathing. And when I mean Ma, y'all don't know Ma. I don't know Ma. She know Ma.
Yeah.
And the Ma I'm talking about, listen, honey, you might think Ma might be 30, 40.
Yeah.
And Ma what? 82? Or 83?
82.
She's 82. And when I mean Ma is strolling, got that swag better than a 21-year-old. Yep. Listen, I'm trying to duplicate that one right there, okay?
Right.
All right. What else you want?
She's one of the reasons why I know so much that I know at the age of 26, just talking to her wisdom. Sometimes we don't agree, and that's okay, because we're learning. She's learning from me. I'm learning from her. Times are different, but I think it's good to talk to different generations. I'm a person that has people as friends of all ages, because you never know what you can learn from that person. You may not experience what they experience, but you could probably take a piece of their lesson from their experience, and you never know. One day you might face that, and you can say, I remember I talked about this, and you start thinking through those things earlier than being blindsided, and that can help you process things as well.
Like, they have the answer key.
Right.
So why not get all the answer key?
Yeah. I always say I live through people experiences. I don't want to make the same mistakes.
Right. Like, you know what? Thank you for being a punching bag for me. Okay. That's how much respect I have for all my elders, because they already experienced it. And it's sad that a lot of people don't think how we think when it comes to the older generation, the wiser, because they kind of stray away from them. They kind of tend to leave them behind. Right. And people kind of tend to forget, if you kind of stay around them, we're also helping them live longer. Yes. We're keeping them busy. We're kind of exercising their muscles, still operating their brains. But a lot of people kind of, stray away from they too slow. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you talking about. I'm looking like they the ones with the answer key. Right. We need the answer key. Like, why we don't have all these family recipes in the book? Or why we don't have family, probably straight away from the conversation, but to lighten it up, like, we need the older generation to help, to give us guidance. And guess what? That can help us in our mental state. Right. Because guess what? Their blood is in our blood. And it might be a family cycle of something. So guess what? Get the answer key. Probably break the cycle if there is something. And I'm sure all families can break a chain or a habit. So why not continue to kind of love on our older, wiser generation?
Right. And it's funny that you bring up love, because actually I've experienced that cycle in our family where we don't really show love and affection. That's something it's really hard for us to say, like, I love you, or give each other hugs. Like, a lot of families, that's the first thing you do when you walk in the house. Mm-hmm. We don't do that. Mm-hmm. So I remember not that long ago, my mom, she was like, I know when I was raising my kids, I wasn't saying I love you. I wasn't giving them hugs and kisses. And now she does that with all of us, because she's like, I'm trying to stop that so you guys don't continue that. And you can see now with my grandmother, with me, we are trying our best to, like, break that. And a little bit it feels awkward, but you don't realize how you could be affecting someone when you don't say it, especially your family. And that can also play a mental thing. Like, they might not feel like, oh, we're a loving family, or we're together, we support each other. The simple things of saying I love you or giving a hug when you see someone can be a difference in how someone feels.
That's like a life-changing.
Yeah.
I love that. And my family, we probably almost equal. And my cousin recently was like, T, I said, what's up, cousin? Why are you so nice? And I was like, what kind of question is that? But she was like, you know what? It's a statement. She said, you are so nice. Yeah. I said, cousin, number one, I get it from my grandparents. My grandmother trickled down to my mom, down to myself, because it feels so genuine. Right. Because I'm telling you, these thoughts in my head, everyone knows by now, I got Looney Tunes, I got Walt Disney, I got all these people. So it's like, how can I train my thoughts? Because it's not always positive thoughts, but it's just the action and the choices that I make, because we can make that one mistake. And that's what it is. That bad choice could be that one mistake to where I won't be sitting right here. I could be behind the bars, or I could be 6 feet under. But again, life is about choices. But how T can kind of channel these thoughts, I have to be genuine. Right. I have to basically, what would God do? What would Jesus do in this situation? Because people can take you there. Mm-hmm. Situations can take you there. And I was like, hey, I need to do better. I need another job. And I was like, T, you putting yourself in depression. And you know who called it out before? And I love this girl. She called it out before I really got into depression. Mm-hmm. It was one of my best friends. And she was like, I know you. In the midst of it, I'm like, girl, what is you talking about? What you calling me for? Like, what is it? She was like, you going through this for a whole month and you're not where you thought it would probably be easy with a snap of a finger, but I know you want fast results. She said, I'm calling to check up on you because you're going to walk into depression. Number one, that's her field. She bachelor's, masters in her field in this social, that world. So I was like, girl, whatever. And guess what? Less than a week later, I'm on the phone with her like, bitch, I'm about to go crazy. You know what she said? I was waiting on this phone call. I'm on my way.
Those are the people you need around you.
I said, thank you. And those are people you need around. And again, you can't tell everybody your business.
Right.
But we need that trusted adult. And it's like people like her, like we need those people in our lives.
Yeah. The people to have hard conversations with. I think I don't have that many friends, but the ones that I do have, they know like how I operate, how I think, when I stop communicating, when I communicate, all of those things. And I always tell people, you see the same people around me for one of the main reasons is because we can have a conversation about anything, the hard conversations. When I mess up, they can call me out. That's the person I want to keep around me. I want to keep the person around me that is going to check on my mental health.
Yes.
And I'm going to check on their mental health. Not, oh, what's the latest gossip? Like, those are not important topics. Because if it's not helping me move forward in my life, then that's not what I want to be talking about.
So and that's what I'm on. 2023. I was even telling your cousin. I'm like, look, DP, listen. I was like, 2023. I think I'm about to start eliminating mofos. I don't think
I have categories.
You got categories that you place them in a category.
Yes.
Can you please share this category with me? What categories?
So I have a few categories. One, family. Family is not everyone that's just blood related. Some people who are blood related I don't consider them as family, because I feel like family is people who you can trust, you can respect, and vice versa. People who you can really depend on at all times, whether it's good or bad, and that's going to always be there for you.
Right.
And sometimes friends turn into family.
Facts.
And a lot of people think, oh, that's just my friend. No, that's my sister.
Facts.
And I put certain people in that family category, and they don't earn that spot easily. But when they are in that category, every single person know who they are. And then I have friends, which is like, okay, we have trust, we talk, but I might not always depend on you, or I might not always tell you everything, but we are friends. I do respect you, you respect me, and we have boundaries. And then I have associates.
Okay.
There's some people who think they're friends, but they're not friends.
No.
So, you know, it like those conversations you have with people, they'll eventually know when they move in those categories, for me at least. And I learned that you can't keep everyone around you and their energy, because there's some people you think they're for you and they're not for you, and they're bringing negative energy to you. And that's something like, if I want to protect my mental health, I'm sorry, you're going into this category. Even if you're blood, if you are causing me to be in a place where I don't want to be,
oh girl,
you are moving out of the family
category.
So that's how I categorize people in my life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In my head, because I'm not there with, I don't have a shade of gray. And I'm going to accept that, because for years I'm battling to have a shade of gray. Unless a doctor, somebody come and talk to me, well, you might need the shade of gray. It's either black or white. And where I'm at in life, I need to keep elevating. I need to keep having like-minded people, like yourself, like your cousin. And it's not a lot of us, to be honest, because if we're not the gossipers, if we're not the negative people, we really more hitting in the back. And guess what? I'm okay with that.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I always move like a ghost and will still keep moving like a ghost.
Right.
And just because I probably don't post whatever social media life foolishness comes with it, keep me where you think I'm at, because hell, it helps me. It don't matter, but it's just, it is what it is. Yeah. And some people still living their social media life to where they consume that cell phone 24/7, posting your feelings, and guess put the phone down and really tap into reality.
Right.
Because this improvement that we're on with the mental state, I feel that people need to put their mirror in front of them. And I always told myself, girl, anytime you probably get when I get famous and, you know, a webinar, a seminar, or whatever, I want to put everybody in a chair, and I want every chair to have a mirror. So every activity that we're going to do, I don't want you to look at nobody else but yourself.
Right.
Because we're always able to check others. We always able to put people in their place.
Right.
But when it comes to ourselves, what we do, we kind of baby ourselves.
Yeah.
We kind of like give us a little pass.
Give ourselves excuses.
Excuses.
Like, oh, I did this because no.
But you just went off on somebody else.
Right.
But you can't put that mirror in front of you and do the same discipline. And you just never know. Maybe we could be in a better place.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Self-awareness is something that is always going to be a work in progress. I think at any age, even with my grandmother, my mom, we're always talking about, I need to do better, da 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 da. And I have this thing where I know if I'm doing that same thing that I should not be doing, and I know the person is doing it, before I check them, I'm like, we need to work on.
You didn't use the word I.
Right.
I love that.
Because you have to be transparent, but you have to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Like, I know you're not perfect and I'm not perfect. Mm-hmm. Let's work on this together. Yes. Like, I need an accountability partner. Like, help me. You help. We gonna do this together. Because, I mean, sometimes you can't do it on your own.
Right.
And I think a lot of people try to do things on their own, and that's why they struggle. But just being together and talking things through is important. So
we're gonna go into a more deeper conversation. You might have more experience because Miss T ain't married yet. I'm going to be, but I want to kind of tap into when it comes to the self-awareness, the self-love in a marriage.
Right.
Because, again, you married, not me yet. I'm going to be one day. But how can someone like myself kind of keep that same mental state to where, okay, now we're one. I'm kind of practicing all of these mind matters and mindfulness things. But when I have a husband, what advice can you give a sister that, you know what, do this, don't do that? Give me the do's and the don'ts. Give me the do's and the don'ts.
I mean, okay, so I only been married. January will be 3 years.
Hello.
So
you better own it. Hello.
For me, being 26, that's pretty good, I would say, for myself.
Very well.
But I think the main thing I tell people is communication.
Okay.
Like, you would think it's the most simple thing, but it's one of the hardest things to do. Is to communicate and be honest with yourself and with your partner. If you feel like, I can't do it today, you need to say that. Don't try to pretend or try to, you upset and you depressed, but you still trying to cook and you just slamming things and acting out of control. Now they looking at you like
what happened?
What you got going on? Just say, like, I'm not doing good today. I'm struggling with this. I need to talk through this. I have a therapy session tomorrow. Like, we have those conversations. Like, I'm going to therapy. I want to work through this, and vice versa. Like, being honest and communicating. We're not perfect. We're going to always be growing. We're going to be going through life experiences. Right. And if you just let your partner know that and they respect you to be there for you during all of those things, you're good.
You're good.
Yes. So communication, being honest, letting each other know how you feel in the moment. In the moment is a big thing for me. A lot of times we say, oh, I'm mad right now, I'm gonna let myself cool off. That's good for some people who may have to really cool off. But when you want to address something, sometimes it's better to do it in the moment.
Okay.
Because I'm the type of person, I forget things. So I might say, I'm gonna talk to him about it tomorrow, and then tomorrow I don't got all my details. And now I'm missing parts, and now what I'm saying don't sound right, or I can't defend what I'm saying because I forgot, or the moment is gone.
Yes.
So when you communicate in the moment and say, when you did this, it made me feel like things like that. All of these things I learned from therapy.
Yes.
I did premarital counseling, and basically it's just setting you up with tools to have a successful marriage. Not saying your marriage is going to be perfect.
Right.
There's going to be ups and downs, but when you have those downs, what tools are you bringing out of the toolbox to help you get through that? So things like communication, how to say things, how to not hit below the belt, because you never know how you can affect someone. And although at the time the person may not feel like it's affecting them, those things build up. And at one moment, that person explodes, and you never know how they're actually going to react. And you're like, what I did? And then now they got this long laundry list of all the things you did because they never said anything before. So communication in the moment, and just trust each other. Like, you know, if you have to take your voice down for them to hear you, you have to know how to communicate with your partner. Some people like to yell. Some people don't. So you just need to know how to communicate with that person and just be respectful.
I love everything you just said. Listen, as you're talking, for me to be quiet, that means T is kind of, I'm having all these mental notes in my head, like, okay, cool. All right, cool. So me and my boo thing, we doing that, cool. Like, okay, cool. Like, okay, we on the right path. Cool. Okay, that.
And
great.
You know, men talk different.
Yes.
So sometimes you have to scale back the way you talk as a woman to get them to understand
girl,
what you're saying.
Today, girl.
I mean, it's not easy. I mean, I always pray for patience because I'm like, I just need to get
women,
to it. I just need you to know how I feel.
This is us.
Yes. So just slowing down, like, okay, I have to say it a certain way for him to understand what I'm saying, or to get, you know, what's really going on with me personally and with the relationship. And if I'm not right, how can I be right for the relationship?
Facts. In my head, right? Like you just said, how us women, we fast pacing.
Yeah.
And we got to speak their language. So the only language that I know, and you could, add help Miss T out with this, is either, the belly, because you got to feed them, in a bedroom. And it's the only language I know. Like, is there any other languages that I need to know outside of those two?
I would say just being supportive.
Okay.
Like knowing what they like, even though you don't really care for it.
Okay.
Like sports.
Okay.
That's not my thing.
I love sports.
That's great.
Go ahead.
But that's not my thing. But it's
gotcha.
something I had to learn to be a part of because it's something important to him.
Okay.
And guys, personal opinion, I feel like guys feel like, oh, she's there for me, she's supporting me. Like, I don't want to go to that football game.
Okay.
But I'm going to go
Yes.
to make him feel like my woman is there, she's supporting me, she's down for me. Like, they love to feel support.
Gotcha.
Just like us,
Yes.
but there may be different things of how we see support from a
Right.
man or a woman's perspective.
But support your man.
Yes.
Jules. Okay? Y'all heard unique. Support your partner.
Yep.
Okay? Big factor.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. So, when it comes to the support, right? I'm trying to think in my head. What is it on my end that time? TIME. M.
There's never enough.
E. There's never enough. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that.
Enough.
It's never enough. But when it comes to more of the improvement, and again, I'm asking these questions because I'm not married, but I'm getting some great advice from you with the growth.
Right.
Do you tell him everything? I'm just asking.
So I think it depends on how your relationship starts. For me, we were best friends. So I was already used to telling him everything. Everything. Every little detail. I was already telling him.
Okay.
So it kind of like molded our relationship and how we communicate. So when we got married, I was like, let me tell you.
Okay.
Certain things, if it has to do with anyone else's business, I'll scale back.
Scale back.
And not tell him all the details, just like, hey, this is going on, just so you can know how I'm moving and why I'm having conversations over here and da-da-da.
Right.
But most of the things I tell him.
Okay.
Because I think it helps him understand my thought process on things and how I react to things and how I move. I don't know if he tells me everything. I think so. Sometimes you just tell them and just be like, oh, yeah, I meant to tell you.
Yeah.
And it's not that serious. Some things are not that serious, but pretty much everything I tell him.
I'm agreeance. Because we talk and we communicate so much. And to me, it's just, it doesn't feel like work. And that's the level and the consistency that I want to stay at, to where, you know how some people might be like, oh,
yeah,
I don't want to have a moment, because my family like, oh my goodness, you guys are still in y'all honeymoon phases, even though we're not married yet. But it's like, why does this have to stop? Why I can't keep going like this? Because I have examples in my life. I have aunties, uncles married 30, 40, 50 plus years, my grandparents, and guess what? You probably thought they just got married last year. Like, why? But I want that. So in my mind, why does my honeymoon phase has to stop? Because it's years or time on me. You understand?
Right.
And it's not for everybody. I love people, but what I'm walking into 2023, and hopefully I can see 2056 plus more, that I want to still be in my honeymoon phase, because that mental state, again, that Walt Disney and Looney Tune, they all in my head. I need somebody to help, help all this, but in a joyful, genuine, loving way.
Right. Okay. And I think you can always, some people, you can always be in your honeymoon phase, but you have to, like you said, communicate. Okay. Be honest. Trust. Those things. Like, if you know, all right, we getting a little boring. Yes. Well, communicate what you want. Okay. All right, I want to go out, or I want to do this. And sometimes that person may not want to, but if they love you and they want to support you, they might try it out. But then you have to be willing to also try something they want to try. Facts. And that's how you kind of keep that energy up. But then also thinking about how you feel mentally. If you're stressed out, all right, this is not a good week for me. Okay. But next week, I got you. Got you. And be honest about that up front, rather than still go. And now you got an attitude the whole time. Facts. Because you're not in the right mind space. Communicate. I used to be in a place to where I didn't feel like I had a voice. And some people probably are in relationships, situations, whatever you call it, that they don't have a voice. And by you not having a voice, them thoughts kicking in, because you don't have anyone to release it to. Right. And when those negative thoughts kick in, we kind of tend to make bad decisions.
and then we kind of not being honest.
Right.
Now we dishonest. Now we faking and lying and not being who we are. And it's just, what I'm taking from this, communication is the key. Honesty is the key. And right then and there, what I'm taking from this is talk about it. Don't brush it under the rug. And please, it's dangerous to brush it under the rug, because you're not growing, you're not elevating, you're not moving forward. Right. You're not moving forward. So for me, I encourage people, take the mental state very, very seriously. It's sad that, my opinion, that people will only believe what others are saying when it comes to positive things, or, you know, a sensitive topic like this, to where it affects them.
Right.
If it doesn't affect them not like that, if it's not happening in their household, or I'm not going through it, so whatever. But wait until it come knocking on your door.
Yeah. And
then you could be like, oh, that's what. Yeah, we're here to give y'all the answer key, because if you feel like you ain't experiencing nothing unique in our saying, enjoy your life. You know, not to speak bad, but something is going to come and knock on your door to where you're going to need that help. And we encourage you to get that help.
Yes.
ASAP. Talk to the TA.
Yes.
Who your TA?
Ooh.
Who your TA?
I would say my therapist first.
Okay.
And honestly,
my
mom.
Yay.
Yeah, my mom. Because we're so close in age that she had me young, and I'm one of the kids that have a lot of wisdom for my age.
Okay.
So I just be like, all right, you need to tell me why you ain't tell me this when I was 12.
Okay.
And we just have open conversations, judgment free. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people have a hard time with that with their parents. Mm-hmm. But their parents can actually help walk you through things. Because they can say, I messed up here.
Yes.
Don't do what I did. Try this instead. And we going to get through it together. And that's why a lot of times I'm calling her like, what do I do?
Right.
She's like, oh my God, I hate when she do this. But it's right. I can't tell you what to do. You have to make your own choices and live with those choices. But this is what I did.
Right.
And you have to make your own choices and live with those. But she is one of the people that I really call on for pretty much everything.
My TA is one of my grandmothers. My mom's mom. I probably call her literally 2-3 times a day. And it's just, we just balance off each other. Yeah. Like, girl, I need to do an order pickup. Can you do it? Grandma, what you need? Come on. I can do that in 5 minutes. Okay, now let me tell you what's happening with me, okay? I think I'm about to get this new job, and I'm kind of a little bit intimidated by you. You know, like, we talk, okay? And she gives me that wisdom. And I have a teenage daughter, and she be like, Mommy, you about to give me a lecture. She tells me my words are a lecture. And in my mind, even to this day, I don't think it's a lecture. It's just, I'm trying to give you the answer key, because that's what my dad did to me. My mom and our relationship is not that lecture relationship, but my mom brings a lot to the table. But when it comes to my teenage daughter, I'm like, look, like how you said, if I was there, I was 16, and what you doing 1% of what your mom, I did way more worse, girl. So you ain't doing nothing, but I'm still trying to give you the answer key. But my daughter kind of strayed away from me. So is it from a daughter, because you have your mom, is it something called too much? Is what I'm asking.
Yes. If I feel like you're pressing your solutions on me, I'm going to pull back.
Okay.
Rather than say, here's what I did, but you have to make your own choices. Okay. People like to feel like they're in control. So if you like trying to put your answers on her, like do it this way, most likely they don't want to do it that way just because you said it.
Right.
Even though it could be the right answer.
Okay.
But it's how you say things. Same like communicating with your spouse. Like,
okay,
you have to communicate for who you're talking to. Even though you want to say it in your own way or how you learned to say it or how it was told to you, you might have to adjust to that person.
Okay.
And maybe just ask her, like, what do you think?
Okay.
And when you hear their answers, you'll kind of understand the way they think and how you should probably respond to it.
All right.
It sounds so easy, but it's so hard.
Listen, I'm practicing all of this in 2023. Yeah. I'm starting now.
It starts with practice.
Because I don't want her to walk away from mommy. But it's just like, girl, I should be your TA.
And you have to be okay with her walking away.
And I have to be okay with her walking away. Girl, you just hurt my soul in a positive way.
It's true.
Nothing negative that I need to hear this. So like how maybe my family might have kind of said most of the same thing that you said, but when you hear it from somebody else, you kind of tend to open your eyes instead
That's
of her
why you
eyes.
pray for them. You say, God, cover them.
Thank you.
And whatever choices they make, they're going to have to live with that.
Put it
I'm
all
here
in.
for you.
Okay.
But I have to let you live your life.
Have to let you live your life. That was a lot of L's. I love that. That was a lot of L's. Let you live your life. Okay, now. All right. So, do you have anything else you would like to add?
I think that's all.
That's all. So, again, Unique and Miss T. Really seriously, all jokes aside, please get the needed help. Talk to someone. Know that you're not alone. Watch Gemini Gems. We have a whole series of almost everything you think you're going through. DP&T got something to say.
Bookmark it, save it.
Bookmark it and save it, because it's just like it's gonna be overloading, and it's like, hey, we're not here just to be a joke. We're here to give and continuing to give life lessons, because we're doing this for our unborns. And pretty much, hey, you guys, we love y'all, aces and jewels. Hey, share the word. Get ready for new beginnings. Christmas, holidays are coming, and this could be bittersweet for a lot. Everyone is not in a happy, jolly attitude. But if you see someone who's not smiling, and what I do all the time, I just give somebody a compliment. Yeah. Just because, like, why?
I do that all the time. Complete strangers.
Yes.
I love your shirt.
Right.
You never know how that makes someone's day.
What? And guess what? They can actually pass that on to others. And so we challenge y'all. At least give 10 people a compliment for the rest of the year. And kind of share y'all stories and how they make you feel. Because maybe give somebody a compliment we don't know. We're not saying, hey, compliment, how they make you feel. Hey, give a compliment, walk away. But how does that make you feel? And when it comes to this improvement with the mental state and what I'm also working on, guess what? It makes me feel so much better not worrying about my issues. So by me complimenting somebody else, by me listening to someone else, by me just giving to others outside of finances, positive energy, God give it right back to you. All right. So this your girl Unique.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming with us. And it's your girl T. And we what? We Gemini Gems.
Gemini Gems.
Hello. And that's Geminis with the S. That's Gems with the Z. And what we do, Unique?
Drop them
Come
gems.
on, girl. Drop them gems. Happy holidays. Everybody stay blessed. See ya.